Hey guys, how's it going? I want to do just a real quick review today about square roots um, and how we're going to evaluate them and things like that. So there's a couple different situations we're going to get ourselves into. The first thing I want to show you guys is how you use the calculator to find the square root. So there's not really a normal algorithm. There's not like a method like there is for like addition, subtraction, multiplication to find a square root. Um, but so in your calculator, just so you guys know, on your regular school calculators, if I want to find the square root of a number, well, the square root symbol looks like this, right? Usually it looks like this in your calculator. Um, if you notice here, it is, on my calculator, it is a little blue symbol right here. I have to press second, get the calculator, and then I'm going to put in the square root. I said, what's the square root of 81? Okay, so I put the square root symbol first, then I type in the number. On a lot of your iPhone calculators and things like that, if you notice there's a square root symbol right there. They add that little 2 in there. You will understand why in the not too distant future. But if I don't press that first, you see it actually just took the square root of 0. What I want to do is I want to take this 81 and then press the square root button. So before we even get started to what a square root is or anything like that, some calculators you need to put it in first. Some calculators you need to put in second. So I know a lot of you guys who are using your iPhone calculators, things like that. It will look something like this. If you guys use a regular calculator you have at home, square root, put in the number, press enter. All right. So that being said, what is a square root? Okay. So real straightforward. A square root is a way to tell what number multiplied by itself will give you another number. So let's say something like this. If I said, what is the square root of 0? What I'm really asking is, hey, what number times itself makes 0? Well, 0 times 0 makes 0. And when I said, hey, what's the square root of 25? Well, what number times itself makes 25? 5. 5 times 5 makes 25. Okay? What's the square root of 100? 10. Right? 10 times 10 makes 100. Right? So this number is the number that when multiplied by itself makes this number, right? 10 times 10 is 100. So I said, what's the square root of 16? 4, right? Now, some numbers, this is not so easy. 2. Well, the square root of 2, if you guys do it, is actually going to be a real ugly number, okay? It's an irrational number, okay? We are not so much concerned with the irrational numbers today. We will talk about what you're going to do with the irrational numbers in the future. Okay? There's some bigger numbers that, like, if you get a bigger number that you might not know. So if I said, hey, what's the square root of 1600? It's 40. Okay? So all the problems you're going to get today, they're all going to be pretty workable numbers. Okay? Good. What if I said a decimal? What's the square root of, oh, I don't know, 0.36? What number times itself makes 0.36? Well, again, most of you guys break out the calculator and you can say the square root of 0.36 is 0.6. Okay? So again, if you guys know that the square root of 36 is 6, then you should know that the square root of 0.36 is 0.6. Okay? So again, like that, it's not really a big deal. Just plug it into the calculator. There's some questions where you might get something like a fraction. So what's the square root of I don't know, 4 over 25? It's really straightforward. You take the square root of 4, you take the square root of 25. So if I said, hey, what's the square root of 4? You'd say 2. The square root of 25, it's 5. Okay? The problem with that is if you put that inside your calculator, it's not going to give you this fraction. Okay? So again, you guys are going to have to do some work here. Take the square root of 4. Even if you do it on the calculator, take the square root of the top, square root of the bottom. All right? Okay. Now, something we didn't talk about and something that's actually going to be the most important part to us. Now, we should know all about square roots going in. So this should all be a review. If it's not, if you're having a hard time with this, you let me know. I will gladly send you some more specific stuff. Okay? But all that stuff that we should have learned way back. But what we're more concerned about is that what if I said the square root of 81? And you would say, 9. And if I said, what's the square root of negative 81? There is no answer to this. This is what we're getting at, is how do we answer this problem? In fact, if I put it inside your calculator, if I said, all right, what is negative 81, negative 81, what's the square root of negative 81? And it tells you, go scratch, right? It tells you, have a nice day, no answer. We are going to figure out how to answer this problem. That's where we're going with this, okay? So one extra piece of information that we need to know, because we've been avoiding talking about negative numbers, is, hey, what about negative 9, right? Well, if I told you that the square root of 81 was this, and the square root of negative 81 doesn't give me an answer, what about negative 9? Well, believe it or not, this is also an answer to this problem. This problem has 2 answers, right? Negative 9 times negative 9 is also 81, right? 9 times 9, 81. Negative times a negative makes a positive. So this problem actually has 2 answers, okay? And normally we denote that by saying that, with a little positive and negative symbol in front of it, okay? Now, what if they said, hey, what's the positive square root? Well, it's 9. What's the negative square root? It's negative 9. What are the square roots? Positive and negative 9, okay? So again, just watch out for what they're asking. If they said this, they want the negative answer, okay? So that's about all you need to know. I'm going to go through, since that was pretty short, I'm going to go through a couple of these questions on here on IXL. That's not your stuff. I believe your stuff was, oh, I got to go find it now. Hold on, let me pause. I'm going to pause. Let me go find it. All right, and we're back. Looks like magic. You see, no time passed for you, like a minute passed for me, okay? So these are the types of questions they're going to ask you today. I'll go through, a bunch of them. This is, what's the negative square root of 25? Well, you go to your calculator, you say 25, you say square root, and the square root of 25 is 5. They want the negative version, though, so all you're going to say is negative 5, and you're going to press yes, and it's going to tell you you are brilliant. What's the negative square root of 1? So, hey, what's the square root of 1? You say 1, you say square root, you say equals, and you can say they want the negative 1, so you can put negative. Okay? Good. What is positive and negative the square root of 100? Again, square root of 100, 10. So what's the positive version? 10. What's the negative version? Negative 10. So you should put the same number, just with a positive or negative sign. Good. What's the positive? Oh, I don't know the square root of 324 off the top of my head. That's crazy talk. What is that? So if I said, what's 324? Also my birthday, 324. So you guys know. It is 18. Okay, so we got positive 18. We got negative 18. All right. Good. Keep it up. What's the square? I don't know that. I do. The positive square root of 4,900. Well, again, little trick. You guys might know the square root of 49, right? And I got 2 zeros on the end. So as long as you have the 2 zeros on the end, well, I got 7. And how many zeros? Take half of those zeros. Okay? Square root of negative 900, again, look, 2 zeros. I know the square root of 9 is 3. So I'm going to say negative 3. And I take half of the number of zeros. You can go ahead, like I said, use a calculator. What's the positive negative square root of 36? So I got positive 6, and I got negative 6, okay? So again, no great shakes here. If you get something like this, what's the square root of 1/16? Now the problem with these is, if I say 1 over 16, it's that, and if I do the square root of that, it is 0.25. Now, most of you guys know that that's 1 over 4, right? But if you run into this problem, take the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom. So if I say, what's the square root of 1/16? All you got to do is take the square root of 1 and the square root of 16. Now, those you can do on your calculator. I can say, hey, what's the square root of 1 is 1. Okay, oops, sorry. Let's say the square root of 1. Okay, and the square root of 16. So it was 1 and 4. So that's 1 over 4. Okay? Good. 9 over 49, square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 49 is 7. Okay, so it's going to be 3 divided by 7. That's fine. Okay, square root of 0.25. Okay, again, if you guys don't know that, what do you say? You say 0.25, give me the square root, and it's going to be 0.5. Right, a half times a half is quadrant. Okay, so again, this is something that you guys could definitely do. Again, put the number in the calculator. 0.01, 0.01. Take the square root, and they want the positive and negative, so I'm going to say 0.1 and negative 0.1. Okay, so again, give those a try tonight. Let me know if you guys are having any problems with logging in or accessing this material. If you want something different, I will gladly give you something different. You just got to let me know, okay? Going ahead and assigning a new thing to every single person in the class is kind of a pain, but if you want something different, please let me know. I will gladly assign you something different, unless this is your course. If this is your course, then I have to give you this work, but I will do my best to give you some other things. Most of you guys are actually math electives, so I can give you whatever I want to do. So, cool story. Anyway, like I said, if there's any questions you have, let me know, and I will gladly answer them for you. All right, guys, take it easy.